Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Pallavi. I'm a visual artist and a learning art therapist. So today I wanted to speak about something that's been very close to my heart and something that I have been working on. It's called as cognitive behavioral art therapy. So what is art therapy in general? Art therapy is basically using art as a tool to express yourself, to counter your doubts, or to show your emotions or your feelings, or focus on how some situations are, or just basically externalizing your different thoughts. Okay. And what cognitive behavioral art therapy is basically it's more like a specific approach. So you have a problem, you make art of a certain kind, and then you try to reason it and question it and try to find a solution around it through the process of art. So I have really enjoyed studying this subject of cognitive behavioral art therapy. And while it may sound like a complicated subject, what I have come to realize that it has some really easy basics. And the one thing that I realized more about this is that it gives you tools that make you aware and empower you to use these tools in situations where you not necessarily can go to a therapist or looking for professional advice, but just ways to like self care and self heal. I do believe that self care is more than just visiting the salon or watching a movie or going shopping. It's about looking inwards and trying to do things for yourself that make you feel better. So, cognitive behavioral art therapy kind of becomes a part of that process. I want to talk about things like what does stress, anxiety, or like self doubt stand for, and how we can work around that if we have those kind of feelings in our mind. So let's get started. Today I'm going to talk about how different kind of feelings like self-doubt or overcoming some kind of anxiety or stress can be solved through an art tool. If you're an artist, I'm sure this is an interesting project for you. If you're not an artist, I'm sure it is still an interesting project for you because I think these feelings come to us irrespective of the professions we are in. So, the first thing I want you to think is close your eyes and think about one single statement that has been stuck in your mind that is deeply affecting your confidence. It could be related to self doubt, it could be related to not feeling happy, it could be related to a stress or an anxiety at work. Just close your eyes, give yourself a minute, and think about what is that one thing that is deeply affecting you at this point of time. Can you give it a sentence? Can you give it out? For the purpose of the class, I am going to choose a sentence for us, okay? And the sentence I decide to choose is I am not good enough, okay? And as I choose this sentence of I am not good enough, I am going to focus on two things. And I'm sure, I hope by now you have chosen your sentence as well. You're going to start choosing three colors that represent this emotion for you. It can be any three colors. You don't have to be worried which colors look good or which colors don't. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is on the piece of paper that you've written, I want you to put a swatch of these colors. I'm choosing colors that are coming to me instantly. You can choose any colors that come to you instantly. So basically, these three colors should be represented in the form of shapes. I'm directly going to go and start with one of them rather than going around making them in a separate page. I'm going to intuitively use this piece of paper and I'm going to use it as a shape. So the first shape that comes to my mind, the process is more important than the end product. So I'm just making a shape that I feel, and then I go in with the second shade, and that's this lavender shade that I will go with. and I choose to depict it through a circle. With this, I want you to think and notice the feelings that are coming in your mind. Even though you're painting, you will have some feelings coming in your mind, whether these are feelings of not being good enough, instances of not being good enough, or whatever your sentence is associated with. You will have some references that are coming in your mind, and in some way or the other, your conscious, unconscious mind is actually making you make these shapes inspired by that feeling. Now, this for me is I am not good enough. And now is the time when we actually do the reframe. So, what is the reframe? The reframe is a practice when you try use completely opposite colors now. I want you to take a color that stands for an exactly opposite feeling. Like, let's say confidence, right? The opposite of I'm not good enough is confidence. So I want you to take a color that stands exactly opposite for that. For me, it's white. And I want you to think of something that you feel is there in you as that particular quality. So think about confidence and then think about yourself. And now we are going to use the same painting to convert it into something we believe is an example of true confidence for us. For me, it's always about flowers. I love painting flowers, I enjoy painting them, and they are the most beautiful symbol of confidence for me. So I am going to stick to them to denote as confidence. So now remember, when you're doing this, the colors you're using are exactly opposite of the colors that you have used earlier. So remember this when you do that, and because they are going to be the new reminders of your confidence. One more thing I want you to do during this process is basically write down the things that counter this view of yours. So let's say our feeling right now was that I am not good enough. I want you to write 10 different things in which you feel that you are good enough and mention them on this particular page. I hope you like the exercise. I kept thinking of, if I should make a YouTube video script or something that is interesting enough, if it's going to be useful for anybody or not. But I really felt that if I make something from my heart that is not particularly scripted, I think that will be more useful than just trying to make everything perfect. Done is better than perfect. And this is what we did today. We had a feeling, we denoted it with colors. We made the initial painting from just shapes and the same colors that denoted our lack of confidence or the fact that I'm not good enough. And then we kind of went over it with beautiful elements that were easy for us to make. And then we added in words because words are powerful as well. And like I said, this can serve as you cut it out, you serve it, you put it on a desk, you take a photograph, put it on your phone. It's something that is close to your heart and only you know what it stands for. So I hope this helped, and let me know your comments below, and see you next week.